Imagine stepping into a backyard the size of a parking space, where nothing matches, but somehow everything belongs. Along one border, old glass bottles you almost threw away glow like a quiet rainbow when the sun slips through them. On the fence, candy jars that once held sweets now overflow with roots and petals, turning a plain wall into a hanging river of color. Under your feet, puzzle-shaped pieces and worn-out tennis balls soften the path, so every step feels more like a memory than a walkway. None of it came from a catalog. None of it cost a fortune. It was all trash, until someone decided to give it one more chance to shine. Welcome back to Backyard Fortune, the little corner of the internet where tiny spaces and trash grow into gardens that feel like home. Today we're exploring 10 real, DIY-friendly garden borders made from things almost everyone has lying around. Bottles, cracked pots, CDs, tennis balls, candy jars, seashells, old rope, even a worn bamboo curtain. If you love ideas like these, if you enjoy seeing small yards transformed with heart instead of big budgets, I'd love to invite you to subscribe. We're building an entire series of Trash to Storybook garden episodes, and your support keeps this project alive for our small family. As you watch, think of that one friend or relative who loves gardening but doesn't have much space. If this video gives you even one new idea, please share it to your WhatsApp and Facebook and tell more garden lovers about it. For everyone who watches, shares, and follows along, I genuinely wish you a long, healthy life and a garden that keeps surprising you in gentle, beautiful ways. One rainbow glass bottle storybook border. Imagine sunlight slipping quietly into a small backyard, brushing every leaf with a soft warmth. Along the edge of a narrow garden bed, old glass bottles rise from the soil like tiny treasures rediscovered, green, blue, amber, and clear. Once forgotten in storage or left at the back of a cupboard, they now stand side by side, catching the morning light in ways no new material ever could. Each bottle bends the sunlight differently. One throws a thin ribbon of blue across the soil, another scatters amber reflections over the leaves of thyme and rosemary. As the breeze moves, the colors shift gently, like fragments of stained glass windows laid open to the sky. The border doesn't ask for perfection, it only asks to be seen. Even the small scratches, tiny bubbles, and uneven shapes become part of the story, proof that beauty grows where patience and imagination meet. In a tiny backyard where space feels precious, these bottles form more than a boundary. They become a quiet reminder that the simplest objects can glow again when given a second chance. And as the day softens toward evening, the border holds onto the last bits of gold, guiding your eyes toward the next wonder waiting in the garden. Let's wander to the next idea. Two, candy jar rainbow fence garden. Imagine walking through a narrow backyard where the morning light slips quietly between the wooden slats of an old fence. Hanging there, in gentle rows, are candy jars, once filled with sweets and childhood memories, now reborn as tiny worlds of color. Their transparent walls reveal everything that life needs: a handful of soil, a delicate thread of root, and a bloom brave enough to reach for the light. Each jar holds a different story. A pansy stretching toward the sun, a sprig of rosemary rustling softly in the breeze, a petunia glowing like watercolor when the jar catches the light at just the right angle. The jars sway slightly when the wind brushes past, creating a rhythm that feels both nostalgic and hopeful. In small gardens where ground space is scarce, beauty often rises upward. The fence becomes more than a boundary. It becomes a celebration of renewal, a vertical rainbow stitched together not with perfection, but with care. Even the twine knots, uneven and humble, add a kind of honesty to the scene, proof that simple hands can build something worth pausing for. As the light warms and shadows drift across the jars, the garden invites you to linger just a moment longer. Now let's wander gently to the next idea. Three, bamboo curtains and screen border. Imagine stepping into a quiet garden corner where the world feels just a little softer. A bamboo curtain rises gently against the backdrop of green, not as a wall, but as something that breathes, swaying with every small whisper of wind. When sunlight filters through its narrow slats, it scatters warm, dappled patterns across the stones below, turning the ground into a shifting tapestry of gold and shadow. Around it, ferns unfurl with unhurried grace, their fronds arching toward the curtain as if drawn to its calm presence. A shallow bowl of moss sits nearby, holding moisture and life, while a small pebble tray reflects the moving shadows like ripples in a quiet pond. Even the bonsai trees, shaped patiently over seasons, seem to lean slightly toward the gentle screen, acknowledging its quiet authority. There is something grounding about a border like this, something that doesn't seek attention but creates it. The bamboo carries its history in every faded line and subtle crack, reminding us that beauty grows richer with time, not despite it. In a tiny backyard, such a screen softens noise, filters light, and turns a forgotten corner into a place where breath slows and thoughts settle. And as the breeze moves again, the curtain stirs, inviting us to continue our walk through the garden. Four, seashell and pebble tideline garden edge. Imagine a quiet corner of your garden touched by the memory of the sea, even if the nearest shoreline is miles away. Along the edge of a small bed of succulents and grasses, seashells rest beside smooth pebbles, forming a gentle curve that recalls the moment a wave meets the shore. Their colors, soft whites, pale blues, muted corals, blend with the warm morning light, creating a border that feels both natural and intentional. Each shell carries its own quiet history, shaped by tides and time. Some are chipped, softened by years of tumbling water. Others hold perfect spirals, like whispers frozen in form. Pebbles nestle between them, cool and rounded, grounding the border with weight and calm. Driftwood pieces lie nearby, each one a fragment of a faraway journey that somehow found its place here. As the sun rises, light glides across the shells, revealing delicate textures you might otherwise overlook. The garden feels slower in this spot, as if inviting you to pause, breathe, and listen to the soft hum of earth and memory. This border doesn't demand attention, it simply offers presence, a reminder that even the smallest details can carry the peace of distant places. And as you step onward, the tide line remains behind you, quietly marking the path to the next wonder. Five, puzzle piece memory mosaic path. Imagine walking along a garden path where every step carries the softness of a memory. Beneath your feet, Puzzle-shaped pieces nestle among smooth gravel, their curves echoing quiet afternoons spent sorting colors and edges on a living room floor. Some pieces still hold faint traces of old illustrations, lines softened by time, while others are brushed with gentle hand-painted hues that warm in the morning light. Ivy drapes toward the walkway, tracing the mosaic as if guiding your steps. Marigolds rise close beside it, offering bursts of gold that glow when the sun leans over the fence. There is something comforting about the imperfect rhythm of the pieces. No strict pattern, no forced symmetry, only a winding story shaped by fragments that found a new place to belong. As light shifts, shadows move across the mosaic like slow-turning pages. The worn wooden borders nearby add a quiet frame, grounding the path with their familiar texture. Every part of this border feels deeply human, mismatched, weathered, and yet gently stitched together with intention. It reminds us that beauty often emerges from things we once left behind, and that the most meaningful paths are rarely the perfect ones. Let's follow this gentle trail to the next idea waiting in the garden. Six, cracked terracotta crown island. Imagine stepping toward a small circle of earth where everything feels a touch older, quieter, and strangely familiar. Around a cluster of blooms, thyme, succulents, rosemary, broken pieces of terracotta rise from the soil like the remnants of an ancient crown. Their edges are softened by time, their colors deepened by seasons of sun and rain. What was once a cracked pot, forgotten in a corner, now stands gently upright, forming a boundary that protects the tenderness growing within. Morning dew gathers along the warm orange surface, glistening like tiny beads of glass. As the day brightens, sunlight brushes the terracotta fragments, making them glow for a brief moment before settling into their comforting matte texture. Each shard has its own story. Maybe it held a basil plant once, or sat on a windowsill catching afternoon light. Now, those fragments find new purpose, standing side by side like humble guardians. There is a quiet dignity in this border. It doesn't try to impress with height or perfection. Instead, it shows how fractured things can come together in a way that feels deeply whole. The soft curve of the crown invites the eye to linger, to notice the subtle harmony between clay and leaf, shadow and light. And just beyond its warm embrace, another idea waits for us in the garden. Seven, CD Shimmer Shield Veggie Bed. Imagine walking toward a small vegetable bed just as the morning sun begins to warm the earth. Along the edge, half-buried circles glimmer softly, old CDS, once filled with songs and memories, now catching the light like tiny silver shields. Their surfaces scatter ripples of blue, gold, and pale white across the young leaves of lettuce and basil, creating a gentle dance of reflections that shift with every breeze. There is a quiet purpose in their shimmer. Birds pause at the flicker, puzzled for a moment, giving tender shoots a little more time to grow. The CDS, once spinning in music players and car dashboards, now hold a different rhythm, one set by sunlight, wind, and the slow unfolding of new life in the soil. The vegetables seem to grow with a quiet confidence, framed by the uneven but honest line of reflective discs. Tiny radish greens tremble lightly as shadows drift across them. The garden feels alive in a different way here, as if light itself has joined the work of tending and protecting. It's a border built not from perfection, but from remembrance, a gentle reminder that the simplest objects can find new purpose when placed with care. And now, let us follow the shimmer onward, to the next idea waiting in the garden. Eight, reclaimed wood story frame raised bed. Imagine stepping into a garden where even the edges of the soil carry a quiet history. Weathered boards, some sun-faded, others gently scarred by rain, come together to frame a small bed of greens. Their mismatched tones and uneven lines form a rectangle that feels less like construction and more like a story told through wood. Each plank seems to hold echoes of its past life, perhaps once part of a fence, a crate, or a small backyard bench that witnessed countless afternoons. Inside the frame, tender leaves of lettuce unfold like soft pages. Kale rises with slow confidence, and rosemary leans outward, its scent drifting into the warm afternoon air. The wood, though aged, adds a comforting warmth to the cool greens of the plants, grounding the raised bed with a sense of belonging. There is something deeply human in this border, imperfect, practical, and quietly beautiful. It reminds us that renewal doesn't always require something new. Sometimes it begins with what's already at hand, reshaped with intention. As sunlight shifts across the timber, highlighting grain patterns and softened edges, the raised bed stands both humble and proud, holding space for whatever comes next. And just beyond its wooden frame, another idea waits to be discovered in the garden. Nine, rope and wildflower cottage pathway border. Imagine a narrow garden path where the world seems to slow down for just a moment. Along the edge, a weathered rope curves gently between small wooden posts, guiding your steps as softly as a whisper. The fibers, sun-faded and frayed in all the right places, carry the quiet honesty of things shaped not by force but by time. When the morning light settles on them, they glow with a warm, familiar calm, like the touch of an old memory. Wildflowers gather along the rope as if drawn to its simplicity. Cosmos sway in the breeze, their petals weightless and bright. Poppies flare like tiny lanterns against the gravel path, while chamomile leans close, releasing a subtle fragrance every time the wind brushes past. Together, they create a scene that feels both carefree and intentional, as though nature and human hands reached an unspoken agreement. Nothing about this border is rigid. It invites rather than restricts, offering a soft boundary that blends with the wildness around it. Each knot, each curve, each shadow cast upon the ground adds to a rhythm that feels deeply rooted in countryside quietness. And as you follow the rope's gentle line forward, a new idea waits just ahead in the garden's unfolding story. Ten, tennis ball soft edge patio line. Imagine stepping onto a small patio where the ground feels warm and familiar, and something unexpectedly gentle greets you at your feet. Lining the edge of a simple gravel path, a row of worn tennis balls sits nestled into the soil, soft, rounded, and filled with stories from games long past. Their neon yellow has faded slightly with time, turning into a warm, comforting glow under the sun. Nearby, mint and thyme creep toward the path, brushing their fragrance into the air each time the breeze passes. The balls rest quietly, marking the boundary of the walkway without ever trying to dominate it. Their playful shape and soft texture add a note of humor, yet the way they sit, partially buried, imperfectly aligned, gives them a charm that feels deeply honest. Children notice them first, drawn by their familiar rhythm. Adults smile quietly, realizing how a simple object can transform a narrow patio into a space that feels lived in, cared for, and gently shaped by memory. The tennis balls don't pretend to be anything more than what they are, but placed with intention, they soften the path like punctuation marks in a garden story. And as the scent of herbs drifts across the gravel, the path invites you onward, toward whatever waits next in the quiet corners of the backyard. If you made it all the way here, thank you for spending your precious time in this tiny backyard with us. I'd love to know in the comments, which border felt most like you? The glowing bottles, the cracked pot crown, the shimmering CDS, the playful tennis balls, or the quiet bamboo curtain? Tell me what you already have at home, and which idea you're brave enough to try first. If this video sparked even a small piece of hope or inspiration, please tap like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and share this video with someone who dreams of a more beautiful garden, but thinks they don't have the space or money for it. Every view, every comment, every share truly helps keep this backyard fortune dream alive for our family. And I'm deeply grateful. Until the next video, may your days be peaceful, your health strong, and your little corner of earth grow more magical with every season.